Hello and welcome back to the King of Hearts podcast hosted by me, Chiara King. Today's episode, we're diving deep into astrology. If you're into astrology, this is the episode for you, okay? If you love star signs, if you love birth charts, if you like compatibility and Mercury retrogrades and star seeds and all that jazz, you've reached the right point in your life, okay? I'm here with the AstroTwins. We've got Ophi here with me. Hello, welcome. Hello, welcome to King of Hearts.
So exciting. Who doesn't like compatibility in stars?
It's the first thing I do when I meet a man. It's literally the first thing I do. It's so bad. But yeah. Anyway, Ophi and the AstroTwins, they have a book out. It's called The Astrology Advantage. It's about all things astrology. And you were saying there's something, it's I am system?
I am the yes.
The I am system.
I'll get into that.
I'd love to get into that.
It's a new way of looking at your chart because, you told me you're a Cancer rising. You're a Capricorn.
I'm a Capricorn.
But it's hard to remember all that stuff, right? You get co-star or the pattern.
Yeah, I have the pattern.
And then you read it all. It makes sense, and then you forget it all, right?
Exactly.
If you love me, let me fly away. Maybe I'll come back to you. Maybe I won't.
But yeah, so thank you so much for coming on. And we're going to talk all things astrology. I've actually given Ophi my birthday and my time. I'm actually so excited for this because I've had some birth chart readings before, but very differently read and like some of it very wishy-washy and kind of like, is this real? Is this not real? Is this person just like saying things to please me?
Right.
Yeah.
Totally. That happens. There's a lot of bad astrology out there too. So, it's such a funny tool because when it's good, oh my God, it's life-changing. I was younger than you when I found it. And I was like, wow, how come nobody told me that life came with instructions? Because my teenage years could have been so much easier.
So what is, for the people who don't really know much about astrology, what is it all about? Like, how would you describe astrology and how you help people? I know you're an astrologer. You've done Dua Lipa's birth chart.
Did a reading for her. I've been the astrologer for ELLE with my twin sister. We write as the AstroTwins, and we've done that for 15 years. We've had our own website, Astro Style, for 20.
Wow.
And
I'm so excited. I'm with a legend right now. I love
Started
this.
shortly after you were born, actually. So when there was not such a thing as an iPhone and an app, so we had to look it all up in books.
That's so much better. So much better.
Yeah, but astrology it's a measurement of where the planets are in relation to us. Your birth chart is like a selfie of the sky at the moment of your birth. Like if you were to look up at the sky, take a snapshot of where the planets were in their arrangement around you on Earth, that's your chart. And it's like a roadmap to your entire life, your strengths, your challenges, everything in between. So you get this little blueprint of yourself and you can use it for everything.
And is it quite accurate? Does it like predict the future?
Yeah. I like to be careful with that because I want people to make sure to know that they have free will. But it's kind of like when you buy a new iPhone or device and it comes with instructions. If you have an iPhone, you don't want to start downloading a bunch of Android apps on it, right?
Okay.
Because it's not going to really work. It's either not going to work at all or not going to work well. So it's a roadmap of your strengths and weaknesses. And yes, you can use it to sort of predict what could happen and definitely to choose your best next moves.
Okay, right. That's so interesting. And you were talking about that I am archetypes. What's that all about?
Yes. So you've probably heard that the signs are divided into like fire, earth, air, and water, right?
Yes.
You're an earth sign.
I'm an earth.
Capricorn.
I'm a Capricorn. Love my 5-year plan. Love planning ahead. I live too
And
much
you're
in the
actually
future.
a double Capricorn. You're a
Yeah.
Capricorn sun and moon
Yeah.
with the Cancer rising. So that
Yes.
means you were born at the new moon because
Oh.
that's when the sun and moon are together. So you're a new moon baby, meaning you like to try new things, which we know you do. And you're
Yeah.
experimental and open. Mhm.
I am. I try. I
Yeah.
feel like a jack of all trades sometimes, but I need to like focus on one sometimes a bit more.
Yep. Well, you have a good bit of Aquarius in your chart. So, what that really means, and I know you have video, so this is a printout of your chart.
Oh,
And it
wow.
will look like nothing to you and something to me, which is one
Uh-huh.
of the problems of astrology and why we created the IM system. So, all of these planets, all the 12 zodiac signs are grouped into fire, earth, air, and water signs. Those are the
Okay.
elements. But there's another grouping based on which part of the season they fall in, the beginning, middle, or end. And that's called the modalities. So there's 4 cardinal signs, which is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And we call those the innovators because they're the ones that start every season and blaze new trails and try new things.
Wow.
And then so that's the I in the IM system. And then there are 4 authority signs, we call them. They're called the fixed signs: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And they're very kind of structured, rigid. They'll really like a 5-year plan, maybe a 20-year one.
Oh.
And then and they're the builders because they're in the middle of the season. And then there are the mutable signs, the M, we call them the mavens, and they finish the season: Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. And they're the communicators, the connectors, the polishers, the curators.
Yeah.
So dividing it up that way have you ever done like a personality test, like
Yes.
Myers-Briggs so we wanted to make astrology more like a personality test. So you could
Okay.
use it that way. Like, what's the best kind of environment for me to work in? Okay, I met someone, I'm dating, but what should I be like on my first date? Like,
Yeah. And what
and
should
if
I
we
look
move into a
for?
relationship, what
Yeah.
kind of relationship will I want? Right. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what we use that for.
You should definitely answer that question because I'm very much single right now. So
Oh, yeah, we're going to do your IM too. So, this is your traditional birth chart. But what we did was we took all 13 parts of it: your sun, your moon, your rising, all the planets, and then what are called the north and south nodes. That's your past life sign and your destiny sign. Who doesn't want to know what that is, right?
oh yeah, I want to
Um,
know my destiny. Don't you want to know your destiny?
your destiny, funny enough, your north node is in Leo, which rules the heart and is the king.
What
Is
does
that
that mean?
crazy or what?
I don't know what that
Is
means.
that crazy or what? Yeah. Yeah, so the let's talk about this for a second because, some people who follow astrology are into the nodes. Now, the
Yeah.
south node is what you were in your past lives, and then the north node is always in the opposite sign and part of your chart, and it's what you're becoming. So your past life sign, your south node, is Aquarius, which is the sign of friendship and casual connections. So if you've gotten friend zoned a lot, that's probably why. It's very free spirited, very independent, and it's in your house, your 8th house, which is very private too. Now, your north node, which is what you're moving toward, is Leo, which is, like I said, ruler of the heart. It's royalty. So, I mean, king is a good last name for you.
King of Hearts
And
is my
hello.
podcast.
Isn't that crazy? And it's about love and romance. So
Yeah,
it's
it
like
is.
your whole life destiny is to take this experimental energy that you perfected in all your past lives and kind of you're very analytical, very in your head naturally, but you're learning how to connect with your heart,
Yeah.
how to take chances, be spontaneous, be playful, fashion, glamour, style. You told me you're coming to Fashion Week.
Yeah.
That's your new playground in this
Okay.
lifetime.
Right. So
Does that track for you?
I mean, that track's great. I mean, I sometimes I can get quite burnt out though because I'm very critical of myself. So if things don't go my way, I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe social media isn't for me. Maybe because I get a
Yeah.
lot of hate as well because obviously I put my heart on my sleeve online. So I'm really susceptible to quite a lot of hate and people disagreeing to what I have to say. And I'm really sensitive and it really gets to me. And then
Makes sense. Yeah, well, your south node, your past life sign is in the most private part of the chart. So in your prior lifetimes, you were kind of a creative pioneer, but you were doing it all behind the scenes. So this lifetime, you're learning through the north node pushes you out of your comfort zone. And it
yeah.
is the thing that makes you want to quit. What I love about it, especially for someone who's the age that you are, is like this is a really important time in your life when you have to take risks,
Yeah.
but you don't know how many to take. You're always wondering, should I keep going or should I quit? And this can help you like, no, it's not supposed to be easy. All of your karmic lessons and challenges are going to be around self-esteem, confidence,
Yeah.
putting yourself out there, and visibility. So those
Yeah.
haters, yeah, it's hard to do sometimes, and you're gonna need psychological
I
support even
do.
sometimes
I
for that.
do. I do.
But yeah, but you are also you wanna always remember, why are you doing it? Who are you doing this for? You're doing it for the people that are struggling with the same thing as you, who need someone to go out there and take chances
Yeah,
and,
that's me.
learn, right?
Yeah, I feel like I sometimes take one for the team, for the girls that are going through it and don't particularly maybe want to admit it. Like I've had some really shitty, toxic relationships in the past where my self-esteem was so low that I accepted the bare minimum. And like someone would tell me I love you after 2 days and I would just be like, oh my God, someone loves me. Where instead of
Right.
thinking that's a red flag, like I should look out for people who just want to love bomb me and then own me and then I can't let go. I feel trapped in relationships quite easily.
Oh, absolutely. And that's that Aquarius South node too. Like you were a free spirit. So you're navigating like how to redefine love. I like to say that relationships are in the middle of a giant iOS update. When you see that spinning rainbow pinwheel on
Yeah.
your screen. We have got, we've got to change this up. And I'm so grateful to people like you who are because we have a million different pronouns for gender, but we have
Yeah.
got like two categories for relationships. Why?
Yeah.
Can we be relationship fluid now or something like that?
Yeah. Do you think that's the way things are going?
I think it could be, but I also think that we are still so our brains are so fixated on being chosen, being accepted,
Yeah.
attaching our worth
And
to whether
marriage.
someone is attracted to us or loves us or whatever, you know? We have
Yeah.
a lot to work through.
Yeah, we do. And I think a lot of us enter relationships, myself included, to fill some sort of void in our hearts, to fill some sort of, insecurities that we have growing up,
Yep. And
you
it's
know?
tricky because look, it does give you it gives you a temporary boost when someone sees you. We all want to be seen,
Yeah. We all want to be
right? But
loved. We all want to be
yeah, and that's what I
accepted.
really love about astrology. I mean, I got into it in my 20s because of dating being so confusing, life being confusing,
Yeah. In your
but
20s,
dating
life is,
especially,
yeah.
it's like dating insurance,
Yeah.
really.
And dating in your 20s is so difficult. I find it's just like you're constantly making mistakes, you're constantly learning lessons. It's like, honestly, I can't wait till I'm 30 because then I can just like not only feel more confident in myself, I'm less insecure, I know more of what I want, I'm more financially free. I mean, I'm financially free right now, but like in my career, I feel very like tied down in a sense. But like, with relationships, it's like, okay, I feel like the older I get, I'm putting up with less shit. Whereas before, I'd take anything and I'd be like, oh my God. And if a guy didn't message me back after 3 days, I'd like love that. And I've had to learn through pain and a lot of more pain and a lot more lessons how to value myself. But I am 25. I've got another 5 years of my 20s. I'm like, I don't want any more life
Yeah.
lessons. I don't want any more life lessons. We're just going to take a pause there and we'll be back after this break.
Well, here's some good news and bad news, but I think you'll find it to be good news as a Capricorn because I did as a Capricorn rising. Have you heard of the Saturn return? Because
I've
if
heard
you
of
do,
it.
I can introduce you to it.
I've heard of
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So when you're around 27, 27 to 29, depending when you were born, Saturn, which happens to be the ruler of Capricorn, but it's the ruler of adulthood, maturity, and wisdom, returns to the sign it was in when you were born. And that is like when everything finally kind of starts to fall into place. You might get your ass kicked a little bit with some tough lessons
Oh
during
no.
the 2.5-year period. But, as a Capricorn, you've already gotten a jump start on that. So it might be a time when things really fall into place for you.
Okay.
So yeah, you were born with Saturn in Aries. And next year, Saturn's going to briefly go into Aries. So you're going to get a little taste of it already. I feel like the mid-20s are kind of the worst time of life, like 23 to 27.
Yeah, 23.
Because
Yeah.
do you agree?
Yes, I mean, it was shit from 21 to 25. And to be fair, I've had my whole career blossom, but personally, like my heart has suffered a lot,
Sure. Well, all of a sudden you're in these scenarios. Like if you went to college, you probably graduate feeling like very old and wise and mature. And, then you walk off campus and into the job world and people treat you like you don't know anything. So it's
Mm-hmm.
humiliating and
Constantly,
degrading. So
yeah.
you have to face ageism. And then,
Yeah, that's
you just
another
don't
one.
yeah.
Ageism
Did
is
you have
another
that happen?
one. Well, now I've had it. Like my ex told me I'm going to expire in 5 years.
Oh God.
That I'm going to expire at 30.
Well, I hope he expired in 5 seconds after saying that to you.
Well,
As
he's still
someone
living and
who is
breathing.
literally twice your age, although I don't feel like it on the inside, I can tell you that you're not. So,
Yeah.
in fact, I highly recommend against getting married, having kids, and doing all those things that Mr. X, who probably, if he's that kind of a jerk, probably would have. Sorry. And if you're friends, I apologize in advance. But if he's ignorant enough to say stuff like that to you, then he's got his own work to do. But
Oh,
I don't
definitely.
think I don't really recommend jumping into permanent relationships before the Saturn return because people do it and then they hit the Saturn return and have all these realizations about who they are. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, what have I done?
Wow. Wow. So you don't recommend I get in a long-term relationship again until 27?
No, you can get in a long-term relationship, but like this thirst for the ring and the babies and this permanent lock them down thing, like
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
What
But
what is that all about?
there's
It's about
that,
fear.
it's that fear and also cultural pressure, But then
Mhm.
those relationships that end up buckling under pressure end up in divorce a few years later.
Exactly.
And
Or you have a crisis because there's a difference between information, knowledge, and wisdom. Okay. So information goes in one ear and out the other. What I showed you, this is information. You're not going to remember it.
yeah.
I will because I have knowledge from studying this and observing people in relationship to their charts over time. So information is what you get when you meet someone or read their dating profile. Knowledge is what you get when you've spent 3 weeks with them in different scenarios, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom is what you get when you've spent 6 months with them, with
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
So you just have to live life and gain wisdom and you can't rush that, sadly.
Yeah. And what do you recommend I focus on right now in my life?
Well, I want to do your I am because then I
Yeah.
can give you the shorthand that's in the astrology advantage. So,
Perfect.
why don't you talk a little bit about what's up while I do the calculation? Should
Okay.
I show it? Should I share my screen and show myself doing it?
Yeah. Why
Would that
not?
be There it is. Okay, so let's find your astrology advantage. So you are January 17th.
Yes. I am a Capricorn.
1999.
Anyone
By
who's
the way, you are
listening.
not born in the year of the rabbit, if you thought you were. It starts during Aquarius season. So you are let's see, tiger. Yeah,
I'm a tiger.
tiger. You're a tiger.
I
Mhm.
love tigers more than rabbits. I don't mind being
Exactly.
a tiger.
You're a lion, you're a tiger, you're all of these things. We're just it's a jungle in here today. So, okay. And so we have this little cosmic calculator. Get your time, date, and place of birth. Go to astrostyle.com/diagram to do this whole thing. So this is the bigger chart. So you are 3 fire, 3 earth, 5 air, and 2 water signs in your chart, and then 6 innovator, 5 authority, 2 maven. So I can now see where you're high or low, and we can calibrate. You see how that's so much easier than looking
Yeah.
at the full chart? This is still your full chart, but this is, you can see it in this big picture snapshot. So Capricorn is an earth sign, but you're pretty low on earth. You have mostly air in your
Wow.
chart.
That's why I don't like being trapped.
Yeah, it's about communication.
Yeah, I hate
How
being
does that
trapped.
land for you? Does
Well,
that explain
I
something?
think my first, I've only been in love once, and my first love was an Aquarius.
There you go. And see, you've got all that Aquarius in there.
I loved the freeness of our relationship. It was like it wasn't very stable, I'll say that, but like it was very adventurous, spontaneous. It was very like fun and just like in the moment. But
Sounds great. It sounds
yeah,
like an Aquarius too. And you
yeah,
probably, like you do always need some of that freedom.
yeah,
And you are low on water, only 2 water planets. So, that's the empathy and the sensitivity. So it doesn't mean that you're not empathic and sensitive. You obviously are, but it just means that those are areas, like you said, where you've had to really grow and learn how to
yeah,
handle the sensitivity and not let it overtake you, right?
yeah.
Yeah. And then you're low on Maven too, which is which is why you probably don't love the social media stuff. I'm a 643, so very similar. So I always have
Yeah.
to push myself with being on camera and that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I mean,
So
I like having my pictures taken on videos, but it's more like the active posting all the time and being online all the time
yes.
where I'm happiest when I'm actually not on my phone.
Oh, totally. As an innovator, you're happiest in your creative bubble,
Yeah.
dreaming up new ideas,
Yeah.
having these kind of really exciting, idealistic conversations. The
Massive.
heart mavens are always on, always in communication.
I can't.
So we're going to talk about the best relationship structure for you as an innovator in a minute.
Oh,
But yeah, the having to respond to people and keep up with the comments, oh, that must be really hard for
it's
you.
hard. Yeah. I feel really overwhelmed very easily and I get burnt out very easily as well because I just feel very
Yep.
overstimulated and anxious when I'm on my phone.
Oh, absolutely.
And I used to
So
not be an anxious person at all. And then I started social media and I was like, why do I feel like depressed? Like, why?
oh my God, I understand. So there are actually 84 possible combinations of the elements and the modalities. So you are an air innovator, and we have a little guide that goes with the book for anyone who orders, called the 84 types. So you are what we call the wind shifter. You're
Wind
inventive,
shifter.
communicative, and adaptable. You navigate change and you create new possibilities. So that's your job.
Love
Sound
it.
familiar?
Yeah, sounds like a content creator.
Uh-huh. So we have a relationship section here where the I am's got a secondary name for how they are in relationship: the idealist, the attacher, and the mirror. So I want to read a little bit to you about the idealist. Okay, so the innovator becomes the idealist with a core desire to unite as a power couple. Sounds like you kind of had that with your Aquarius a little bit
I had that
back
with
in the day.
my Aquarius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the idealist, you want this perfect relationship, soulmate, playmate in one. You can do whatever you want. They do whatever they want, but you trust each other. You're always each other's favorite person that you come back home to, but nobody is limited by this relationship.
Yeah, I hate being limited by I hate feeling trapped. I hate it. I want to feel
Brad
free.
Pitt and Angelina Jolie are both idealist innovators. When it was good, right?
When it was bad with my ex. It was
and it
really bad.
still is.
Yeah.
Right. So, but the authority, they become the attacher. They're very traditional. Their core desires to build a stable life together and probably make innovators fall asleep at the wheel. But, and then the maven becomes the mirror with a core desire to find a lifelong playmate who they can talk to nonstop. That's
Oh,
the,
I can't talk forever, to be honest. I can talk for a
yes.
bit, but then I get run out of battery.
Yes. So this is really important to know because we're given one template of a relationship. Like the dating can be fun and all the drama, but as soon as you're married and off the market, you become this boring
Yeah.
householding
Yeah.
family where
I
you
don't
just
want
like
that.
watch Netflix and fall asleep in your
No,
sweatpants.
I don't want that.
And
How can I not have that? How can I have the
how do
opposite?
how can you not have that? Yes. That may appeal to some authorities, I'll be honest. They like the stability and certainty. They know how to okay, we're having TV night and we're having date night. They like everything made up like a little girl dinner,
Oh,
here's the charcuterie board and everything's in
oh,
its place.
oh,
That's
no,
how they
no.
do their relationship. So
Oh,
for the authority, they can dress up and then become the sexy glamazon and red carpet couple. And then they can be, Netflixing and, having microwave popcorn crumbs all over each other. It does not affect their attraction. So you're an innovator slash idealist. So, you do want it all.
I do.
And you
I
do
do.
need to make the rules that work for you. This is what I was saying about being relationship fluid. Like you don't fit in an easy box. It can be traditional to some extent, but then you're going to really want things your own way. And
Yeah.
it can be very hard to explain that to someone because they start to think that maybe you're not trustworthy. But truly, you can be one of the most loyal and trustworthy types. The more freedom someone gives you, the
Yeah.
more committed you get to them.
Yeah.
The less they
100%.
give you, the more likely you are to be like creeping around or just get me out of here.
Yes. Yes. The more I feel controlled and possessed, the more I want to run. And the more I
And then
feel
fights
free.
happen because an innovator does not just sit there and let someone control them. They're going to fight back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or for me, I'm just like, no, I'm out. Bye.
Yeah, you'll check out. You might
Yeah.
still be in the relationship, but you're mentally and emotionally gone.
Yes.
And then physically to follow, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. So, Ben Affleck is an innovator. And my prescription to him, it's like J-Lo, we don't know her rising signs. She's either an authority or a maven. But so if she is an authority, she's either like wanted everything to be too predictable or a maven, she wants too much attention. The maven loves constant interaction, and that's fine to a point, but then it becomes exhausting because they're external. They need external validation. They need to connect externally to feel okay. And innovators like, can we be in the same room, ignoring each other, but aware of one another's presence, both in our groove,
Yeah.
needing nothing from one another? That's hot.
Yeah. That's
So
hot
the
for me.
maven can drain the innovator, and the innovator can make the maven feel ignored, neglected, and
Right.
unloved because their love language is not the
Completely
one that the
different.
innovator
Yeah.
speaks.
Hence why J-Lo and Ben Affleck are no longer.
Yeah, I mean, I think he should just keep his, there's this whole thing like he moved out of the family home and now he has his own place. Well, that could be a survival thing. I think innovators should always have their own place.
Yeah, I have
If
my own
they
place.
need. Yeah, don't move in.
I need my own
Ever. You
space.
don't
No,
have
no,
to.
no, no. And if I'm going to move in, I'm going to move into their space and leave when I want.
Yeah, and keep your own,
Yeah,
which is a
massively.
strategy I've done throughout my entire life, and it's
Oh,
worked.
yeah.
It's like if an innovator doesn't have somewhere to go that is just their own,
Yeah.
nobody's moved anything,
Yeah.
everything's where you left it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to be on. So
Yeah,
I
'cause
think
then
Ben
you-
Affleck's, man pad is the solution to the relationship if they want to keep it. And that's the kind of advice that you can only get from astrology. And we put a lot of it in the Astrology Advantage. No judgment. This is not about
Yeah.
what society wants
It's just
you
about
to
who you
do
are.
and says is right. It's about what's right for you.
Yeah. So you think I should also be with someone that's an innovator or authority?
Some innovator. I think someone who's, everybody should have a good balance. You're pretty high on authority, low on maven. You're going to end up with someone probably drawn who has a good amount of maven and balances you out, but they need to have enough of the other. They need to be self-sufficient, whatever they are. So, yeah. You just understand that about yourself and watch for the red flags. If they're needy, if they're controlling, if they tell you you're going to expire in 5 years. That guy was probably an authority, and he kind of doesn't even deserve an astrological sign for saying that.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve any of that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So it's There's compatibility advice in the book and
Yeah, I
anything
can't
you
wait.
need.
Amazing. That was like a really cute, fun, quick little reading of my life. But yeah, obviously, if you want to get book 2, where can they get it?
Come to astrostyle.com. Follow us at AstroTwins on Instagram.
Do you
and
sell it on Amazon?
TikTok. It's on Amazon. Yep. It'll be out
Perfect.
in the UK also. So yeah, Amazon is always the quickest way. But if you order from us directly, we have some bonus gifts too. So if you do actually get it on Amazon, because if you're not in the US, it might be harder to do that, shoot us an email and we'll give you the bonuses if you share your receipt with us.
Oh,
Mhm.
perfect. I love astrology. My mum loves it too. We all love it. It's just sometimes I think you can get bad astrologers who will not know what they're talking about. And then you're like, this, that. I
Yep.
think understanding more about your star signs and who you are as a person. I do believe in astrology, and I think that the stars, we are made of stardust. So
We are. So if someone tells you that they're sure that something is going to happen a certain way, that's not good astrology. If they give you tools to understand yourself more, make better choices, but that those choices have you in the driver's seat of your life, it's always your choice. You can
yeah.
date someone who's the absolute worst sign for you according to a book and have the best relationship. It's really about understanding what makes you tick and what makes them tick, and just playing to those strengths. And you can
Yeah.
have a great relationship with any sign that you want.
Amazing. The world is your oyster. Oh, well, thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming on and sharing your insight about all things astrology and star signs.
Thank you for having me.
If you were listening to this, I hope you enjoyed. And if it got you a little bit more in tune with astrology, and if it's something that you want to get more into, defo check out AstroTwins and the new book. And yeah, I guess I'm going to go home and read up on my astrology whilst I'm single and not ready to mingle right now. Maybe I can learn more about myself. So then the next person that comes along, I'm going to be much more tuned in on what is good for me and what's not good for me.
Totally, 100%.
Yeah, that's all for this week. If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up, follow, subscribe, leave a review if you liked it. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Maybe I won't.